Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get right into it. Let's run the entire MLB slate. We have a full 15-game card. Each and every team in the MLB will be in action today. I'm going to break down the Friday, April 11th best bets. We'll recap all of those picks at the end of this video as well. We have 5 best bets on today's card that I will be sharing with you all, and we will break down each and every matchup. Like I said, it's a great time to be alive if you are a sports bettor due to the fact that it is Masters weekend. So golf is getting back in full swing. Also, it's a great time to be alive on the channel. 3-0 on the picks yesterday, so we brought the brooms out coming off of a Wednesday that we went 3-1-1. It's really going to be something special if we can really put together a great weekend in terms of picks. We'll see what happens, but we'll give you guys my best bets, and I'm happy that you guys found my channel. If you guys are all new here, awesome. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us right here at TBM Sports. It's completely free to do so. I get to see some of the numbers in terms of analytics, and about 46 to 50% of the people who watch this video do not hit the subscribe button, okay? It's very simple to do. You hit the thumbs up, you hit the subscribe button. It does not cost you a penny, and I appreciate you guys all tuning in. So let's get into it. Let's get into Outlier. This is the betting tool that I use to break down all of my best bets and do a lot of my research and finding the best number available. So it's pretty much an invaluable resource that I use on a day-to-day basis. If you guys want to sign up with Outlier, it is a 7-day free trial that I'm offering. Links down below in the description. Make sure you check that out. And if you're not using it, try it for 7 days. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. But links down below for Outlier, okay? Let's get into the first game as we look into the Kansas City Royals taking on the Cleveland Guardians. So the Tribe kicks off another home series, okay, and we have seen them kind of get back into the full swing. As we look at Cleveland, okay, they were able to take care of business in a lot of unders, okay, a lot of unders going under the total in 3 games against the White Sox after kind of that bludgeoning they took out on the West Coast against the Angels. And the Angels, kind of intriguing little start to their campaign, basically leading the MLB in home runs on the season. Trout's healthy, and also the Angels, as we look at them, guys, something to kind of note on them, 8-4. So a little bit of a surprise for a lot of the people out there on the West Coast for the Angels to have some success early on. But the Guardians looking to reclaim kind of that edge against the Kansas City Royals in this weekend series. We do get Bubic going against Tanner Beebe. This is something where, you know, Beebe had a pretty decent start against the Royals last time out. Good record against them. Bubic has been impressive as well. This is another game where, you know, it's going to be kind of weather dependent a little bit. I think that we've been seeing some cold weather games. We've been going under the totals a lot, picking our spots for overs. The wind will be going kind of dead at them here at Progressive Field, blowing in from center field. Kind of, you know, a chilly Friday evening that we'll have. I think this is something where we may see all of the same as well. I could definitely see this one going under the total of 7. It's just a little bit too low for me, so we're going to pass in that regard, but I do favor the Indians here, minus 146, minus 138, whatever you can find out there in the market. Right now, FanDuel offers minus 138. I could definitely see Cleveland getting the job done here on the money line, but no official play for me in this first contest, but I do lean Cleveland in this spot. Next game out is the Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. Now, this is something been very impressive as we look at kind of the pitching matchup here. Bailey Falter going against Singer for the Redlegs. And definitely going to lean Cincinnati in this spot. The one thing I will tell you guys, though, wind is blowing out. If these were any other 2 offenses, right? Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, kind of 2 of the teams in terms of batting that we don't really get into in terms of favoring. And that's kind of how I feel about it, right? You want to talk kind of strikeouts. They're both kind of at the top in terms of strikeouts per 9. But in terms of batting average, they are at the bottom. Slugging OPS, and that's kind of how the storyline goes as Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's dead last, actually, in batting average, and Cincinnati is in the bottom 5. We look at this game, and this is something where I would love to get behind the over 8, but that's something where we're going to stay away from it because it is a poor matchup in terms of offensive production expected. And as we look at the Redlegs and the Pirates, 5-8 on the season, I would lean towards the Reds. I just don't trust either of these teams' bats to get involved and make this a play. So this will be a pass as well. And a lot of you guys watching are probably wondering, well, you pass on a lot of games. Well, they don't give out medals in these sports books and casinos if you bet each and every game. Okay, full disclosure. If there's 15 games on the slate, I find, the best maybe 5-6 games that I think there are edges on. And then from there, we break down sides, totals, props, and we find the best numbers available and which actual propositions give us an actual edge. That I think that the numbers may be wrong versus my numbers, and that's kind of how it's done, okay? So just a little bit of a betting tip for you guys as we kick off the weekend. You don't have to bet each and every game. So if you guys want my leans for each game, great. This is why I do this. This is why I run the board. But full disclosure, as much as this may seem like a bet for me in terms of the Reds and the over, not going to take it because I just don't have that edge, and that's kind of why and how I do things, okay? The Blue Jays and the Orioles. This has been a fairly interesting start to the season. Okay, Blue Jays have been kind of one of the surprise teams here in the market. You can see right now they are a plus 100 dog here on the road. About even money for the Blue Jays taking on the Orioles. We got Shugano and Bowden Francis squaring off. And as we look at this, guys, something worth noting in terms of kind of where we're at from a batting average perspective. Both of these teams you would expect, especially Baltimore, a little bit more so offensively. It's the consistency with me with the Orioles that does kind of give me pause, okay? I don't like the fact that they could score 8 runs and then 0 the next day, and that's kind of how I handicap them, all right? I want to see, and this will change throughout the course of a 162-game season. I just want to see the Orioles find their footing a little bit, figure out their identity, and then we could start handicapping them more so on a consistent basis. But the Blue Jays, on the other hand, it's something to be said, too, because both of these teams are kind of the middle of the pack when it comes down to it. Blue Jays are top 10 in batting average, and this is something where I think possibly the wrong team is favored, okay? So I would lean Blue Jays at plus 100. No official play. Also, you could get involved with the over, but like I said, guys, the wind will be blowing in a lot of these stadiums, and one of the most kind of significant ones here is the ballpark here at Camden Yards where the wind will be blowing in 11 miles per hour dead in from center field. So 8.5, 8, whatever you can find is a pretty big total for kind of what's expected. Also, there is a very chilly evening as well, so it's going to be something where stay away from this game, okay? The Braves and Tampa Bay. We do get Elder going against Taj Bradley. This is something where I think the Braves are going to be due to break out. Now, the interesting thing about the Braves, and this won't be an official bet today, but I will tell you guys, 3-9 to kick off the 2025 campaign. It does not scare me a little bit if we do get some, Spencer Strider, we get some Acuna good news. I think that we could see the Braves kind of rebounding. So if you are looking in the market right now, maybe wait a little bit longer, but I still think if this continues, Braves to make the playoffs could offer a very good value if they were to go on a late season run and kind of rebound a little bit here. But as we started off the season in the first 12 games, not very positive news coming out of Atlanta as they, I think, went 0-7 or 0-8 to kick off this season, okay? But no play for me in that game. I don't even really have a strong lean. I just think that the only other thing you could talk about maybe is Atlanta team total. I potentially would look at playing at Steinbrenner Field. It does give me kind of an indication that we may get some runs, but no play for me, okay? We will have a play, though, in the Giants-Yankees game. This is where we're going to go over the total of 8. All right, Robbie Ray going against Marcus Stroman. We talk about kind of New York and how that is a launching pad. And as we look at it, guys, there's a reason why if we go into kind of the numbers here, the New York Yankees have been hitting the ball exceedingly well, and the Giants, okay? The Giants have been one of those surprise teams here. As we pull up the numbers here, I will go over the total of 8. I laid that at a minus 105 price. In terms of home runs, the Yankees second in the MLB, 26 home runs on the season. It's going to be something where it's going to be very impressive, I think, seeing the Giants kind of play in this ballpark. And on the other hand, as we look into it, guys, Robbie Ray going against Marcus Stroman, like I said, Robbie Ray has been pitching kind of decent, right? He's been serviceable, 6 innings, 5 innings, 5.1. He's given up 7 hits on the season, a handful of earned runs. I think we look at the whip. It's a 1.15 and a .75 whip in his 2 starts. But mind you, those were against the Cincinnati Reds and the Seattle Mariners, okay? So I do think we're in turn for some regression for Robbie Ray. Marcus Stroman, as we all know, can give up the long ball. He can also pitch 8 innings shutout. So I'm going to go with the over here in this spot. I think there's some value in terms of the offenses kind of outshining the pitching, and that's where it led me to my best bet being over the 8 for San Francisco and New York. Next game is Washington and Miami. Okay, Washington goes on the road, and this is a club that has some very impressive numbers, though, from time to time. And I think that this handicap is wrong. We get some value here with Mitchell Parker going on the road to face the Marlins. Okay, so we get some humidity. We're going to get some runs. I do think, though, that Washington's going to do enough pitching to kind of outshine the Marlins. And at a minus 120 money line price, I'm going to get involved. Okay, so I took the Nationals here, minus 120 as road favorites, slight road favorites here to get into the Miami Marlins, get into their pen. I think that the Marlins haven't named a starter yet, so that is something where you kind of want to do it conditional. I would make this a conditional bet where it's reliant upon Mitchell Parker being the starter. If he gets a late scratch, I don't want to be on this side of the ticket, so make it conditional on contingent upon Mitchell Parker being the starter in this matchup, but I will lay the minus 120 with the Marlins as a best bet, okay? Next game out, let's talk about it. We're going to have another play shortly, but the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. Chicago's resuming right where they left off last season, 2-10 to start off, and we do get kind of an interesting matchup here. Sean Newcomb going against Martin for the White Sox. This is something where you want to bet on Boston, but minus 164, it's kind of a cheap price if you want to put it all together, considering some of the numbers and value that we got on the White Sox last season. This number would be well over $2 as the Red Sox would come in as favorites if this was a little bit later in the season. But I do think the Red Sox bats have came alive. I don't trust them necessarily to score a lot of runs in this game, so I definitely wouldn't want to lay the Red Sox run line, but it is an option there at a very, very nice plus 100 price. But I think that the Red Sox are the team that will win this game. It says $1.64 is kind of expensive for this proposition, so we're going to stay away from this game as an official play. Next bet on the card, Detroit and Minnesota. This is another one where we look at the game. We're going to go first 5 over the 4 runs, okay? And the reason why, we get Olsen going against David Festa. And I think that the Tigers have been one of the more impressive teams as well, all right? 7th in the MLB in home runs. As we look at the batting average for the Tigers, 4th in the MLB in batting average. I think this is a very, very buy low spot on this pitching matchup, okay? Outside of the weather in Minnesota, okay, so we can talk about target field. It's going to be kind of just, a little bit chilly, but it's not going to be something too crazy with the wind. We do worry about the total, and I think that the number is wrong at 7.5, okay? I would have this an 8-run ball game, and if we can find minus 120 or cheaper on the over 7.5, it's definitely going to be something that I want to get involved with. So I lean over for the full game, but I think the best bet and money well spent will be going the first 5 over 4 at minus 110. I think they get out to a hot start, as we've seen with Detroit. They can put up some runs, and Minnesota's capable. Okay, they are capable, but I'm going to go first 5 over the total of 4, Detroit and Minnesota at a minus 110 price. Angels, Astros. Very interesting matchup. All right, Josh Kokonowicz going against Ronel Blanco. Blanco on the season, 9.45 ERA. This is something where the plus 125 for the Angels is very juicy. The Astros, for a lot of people, have achieved the status of being on the no-bet list. Not there yet, quite frankly. I'm a little bit higher in terms of the Astros than most. It's just a slow start, and I think once they do turn it around, then we're going to get some streaks. We're going to get some run where the Astros do have some success. So I personally would lean at the Angels in the spot, plus 125. That's just me. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to bet this game, but I do think if you are a value bettor, you grind out the season, plus 125 for the Angels is the correct side in my personal opinion. It's just not anything to get involved with. I think there's better bets out there in the market because I don't want to be on a crappy team such as the Angels, and then the Astros end up getting it done at home, and Blanco has an outstanding performance, kind of rebounding. So that's kind of where I will stay away from this game. All right. Next game on the card we are going to talk about is the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Aaron Nola, kind of a storyline of the season, poor start, and I've never really been a Nola fan personally. Going against Palante there for the Cardinals. Cardinals hosting the Phillies, 5-7 on the season. this is a very intriguing matchup. I'm not going to bet the first game of the series, but I kind of want to see how this game rolls out, and I possibly would get involved in a later date. I think Saturday and Sunday, there may be some better opportunities, but this is going to be something interesting where if I had to give you guys a best bet for this game, I would look into the potential for a Cardinals team total going over. That's just me. If you do like the Cardinals on the team total, plus 115 as home favorites is very, very enticing. I think the total 7.5 is very low as well. The Phillies can play in some low-scoring games. I just think that personally, this is something where I do lean Cardinals in the spot and kind of higher scoring with them. I think they potentially win the game. So, the Cardinals getting 4 runs does not really kind of make me want to fade this game, but I don't have an official play. It will be a later one, 8:15 first pitch there in St. Louis, okay? Next game, the Colorado Rockies traveling to Petco Park to play the San Diego Padres. This is another game where we will have an official bet in the prop market, okay? We're looking to Nick Pivetta, and I want to tell you guys kind of how I feel about it. I do think we get some runs in this spot. The Colorado Rockies 3-9 on the season. The Padres play really exceedingly well at home, 10-3. And this is kind of where it's Padres or nothing from a side, okay? And that's where you can see it right here at minus 205. But the storyline for me here with the Padres, and I'm going to pull it up on your screen here. Okay, this is Nick Pivetta in terms of his strikeouts, all right? Now, this is dating back into 2024 a little bit as well, but under the total of 6.5 strikeouts, all right? In his last 10 outings, dating back through 2024, he's only eclipsed 7 strikeouts once, getting over 9. And I think here at plus 126, this is bet-worthy for me. We're going to take a stab on the Nick Pivetta under 6.5 Ks. The only thing that really does make me want to shy away from this, okay, is the fact that the Colorado Rockies, in terms of strikeouts, basically second in the MLB, okay? And they are at 128 on the season. The Boston Red Sox, overwhelmingly the number 1 team in terms of striking out as a team offense at 136. So 8 Ks behind the Red Sox in the 2 spot for most strikeouts in the MLB. But I still think that, it's kind of a turning of the tide. They will strike out a little bit, but I still think even in Pivetta's outings, you want to talk about it, his 2 starts thus far, he's had 4 Ks respectively in both games, and I just think that that was against an Atlanta club and a Cubs team that I think he's going to get upwards of 80 pitches. I just don't think that for me and my money, guys, I think this is a very strong play to the under 6.5 Ks. I think he will outpace 4. I just don't think he'll get to 7. So that's kind of why at plus 126 on Caesars, this is worth a best bet for me. So we're going to go under 6.5 Ks. And full disclosure, guys, I don't really get involved with props a little bit till we have some more data. I'm not the guy out there trying to bet off of last season. I'm not there trying to put together positive EV based on a small sample size of games, such as 15 games. We got to get above that mark. We're getting close, but I will start seeing some starts getting under some of these pitchers' belts and kind of how these lineups are settling in before we start betting on props more and more. Okay. Next game on the card, the Texas Rangers and the Mariners. Let's talk about that one real briefly. This is a game where we do get some good pitching. Miller going against Jacob deGrom. deGrom still looking for his first decision. Still is a non-decision for both of his starts. As we look at the Rangers, 9-4 on the season, I keep telling you guys they should be in everybody's kind of portfolio as we look into the futures market for AL contenders. So that number's probably dropped since before the season. I think it was upwards of 25-30 to 1 before the season started to win the AL. That gives you a lot of ways to hedge out of it come postseason, but the Rangers are definitely on my list for that. They're playing in Seattle. This would be one where it's 6.5. I know you'd want to lay it. It's a very friendly pitcher's park, but 6.5 is kind of the lowest total you're going to see. Maybe 6 every once in a while, but 6.5 is very low. So we're going to stay away from the 6.5. It's just really no edge for me, just being honest, right? It's very likely it goes under the 6.5, but if you do have a little bit of a slip up, a 3-run home run, you're really playing with your back against a wall. So we're going to stay away from that. There's just better bets out there in the market, okay? And that will lead me to my next game that I will have a best bet in, and that will be the Brewers and Diamondbacks. Okay, we get Ed Rodriguez going against a pitcher for the Brewers to be named to be named later, has not been named yet, and I see the total right now at 8.5. I took this one at minus 122 on FanDuel. We're gonna go over the total 8.5. Brewers and Diamondbacks. I like the Snakes at home. The Brewers have been sneakily hitting the baseball exceedingly well. I've been cashing tickets on the Brewer Crew going over, and the Diamondbacks, as we all know. I think they've, respectively, in their last couple games, last times out, I want to give you guys some of the stats here because it is a plus pitching matchup for Arizona. And the Diamondbacks scored 9 runs last time out against the Baltimore team. 7 runs, 4-3 against Baltimore the day before. So they've been getting kind of close, but I think that what we'll get from the Brew Crew on the other side is enough to get us over the total of 8.5. So we will go over 8.5 minus 122. All right, and then the last couple games we have out there, we have a couple more to talk about. That's where we're going to look into the Mets and the A's. This is where we get Canning going against Sears for the A's. This is where you have to kind of look at a total here. As long as the Athletics are going to continue to play in Sacramento, I believe it's something where you have to kind of look at it as an over 9.5. I would lean over the total 9.5 minus 115, potentially even Mets team total. It's kind of a upgrade for the offensive numbers in terms of my power rankings when you do play in this ballpark. The odds makers can't really figure this one out. And you can't make every game 10.5, 11 without altitude. So it's kind of where I look into the Mets going over their team total and potentially over, but no official play for me in this spot. Okay, last game out, Cubs and Dodgers. I've looked for every single way to play this game. Matthew Boyd going against Yamamoto. Yamamoto should get this one done handedly. All right, I think 7.5 is exactly where the number should be. I do think Boyd is due for some regression, and I wanted to take kind of an intriguing way of betting this one. I would lean Dodgers going over 1.5 home runs as a prop. A little bit of a sprinkle on that. I think that's the best kind of value we can get without getting into individual player props. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm not going to play it. I do think the Dodgers win. I'm just not going to get involved with a minus 196 money line price. Plus 105 on the run line would be kind of the next way I would approach it. But with that home team not batting in the 9th, you could potentially look into the home team not batting in the 9th on DraftKings. They do offer that in terms of game props. But outside of that, I don't really see any value unless you want to lay a big number there with Yamamoto and the Dodgers. Okay, so that'll be it. Those are my 5 best bets and all of the leans along the way. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at TBM Sports. Completely free to do so. Every one of you guys watching my MLB picks, 6-1-1 over the last 2 days. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It costs you pennies. It does not cost anything, so less than pennies. But it does keep you informed when I do post videos, give out free picks, bets, and information every single day. All right, appreciate it. Let's do a quick recap, though. Run the board, and we will look into the first game that I will have a number. Over 8 minus 105, San Fran in New York. Brewers Diamondbacks over 8.5 minus 122. Tigers, Minnesota, we're going over first 5, minus 110. Nick Pivetta going under 6.5 Ks at plus 126. And we're going to take the Nationals, minus 120 on the money line to round out my 5-pack. Yesterday, a lot of bettors that did watch cash because I did state that I would go the entire slate under. And if you would have done that, guys, with the exception of that rain delay within kind of the late night action, which we did cash because we had the under in the first 5. So luckily we kind of dodged that bullet, but the under yesterday as a whole was, I believe, 5-1 if you do want to count it. So that's kind of where I stand. That's kind of why I'm going over a little bit. I do see a lot of Fridays kind of getting out of hand from a run perspective. So let's hope for some good weather and some fireworks here as we kick off these weekend series. Good luck out there on your tickets. Appreciate you all. Subscribe down below. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.